Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for August 22nd and Thursday, August 23rd, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am the still point. And almost welcome to Virgo. By the time this is uploaded, it will be very close to Virgo time. I was hoping to get in for the last day of Sun in Leo because I felt like I had such strong heart messages to put out there, but the internet said no. I did not have internet connection yesterday, so I was only able to post some things. But I really feel like it is so important to build on a foundation from the last sign. So as we are in the last couple hours, and even, as we ingress into Virgo energy, we still have Mercury hanging out in Leo. The North Node is still in Leo. There is still time to really integrate these lessons. Wherever you go, as you move forward in and through these energies, go with all your heart. As I posted on a post that I made, I can think of no greater service than to bring to the world your wholehearted nature. So as we move into Virgo, the sign of service, remember that your greatest service that you can bring is to be all in with your heart. So that being said, gosh, last night the ideas were like spinning. I had to take my phone and write down the ideas so I didn't forget them. My theme for Sun in Virgo is allowing the yin in a practical world. I had it written so well, and of course I've just forgotten it. Here we go. Working with the yin in the practical world. It's so interesting because Virgo is such a practical energy, but at its highest, Virgo is a place that goes beyond what is seen, goes beyond the practical into a healing space. So one of the things that came up is, logic is a very high resource for Virgo energy. But what I wrote was, if logic is king, then chaos is his queen. And even though this is sounding kind of Libra, to want to balance these energies, I really think that part of our yin journey, part of embracing this energy, is learning how to implement the yin in a practical world. Because that's one of the things that we haven't quite found out. I mean, let me just say, from my own life, I remember how many times I have scoffed at things that are not logical, and yet I can say very clearly that I do not think my life in the last couple of years has followed a very logical path in the least, and yet it keeps opening up doorways of brilliance and beauty and magic, especially as I'm willing to follow. I wouldn't say they're paths, because there's definitely not paths, but follow basically my soul, these inclinations, these energies through winding corridors into the next burst of light. So this is our energy through the next month, working with the yin in a practical world. How do we implement the energy of darkness, the energy of chaos, the energy of the unknown, the energy of the intuition in this very practical, logic, mental energy? That's one of the things. Virgo is ruled first and foremost by Mercury. So when we have Sun in Virgo, the mind comes online and the mind is like, let's make a list, let's check it twice. This is naughty, this is nice. Naughty is on the chaos side. But the thing is, oh, I have something in my eye. The thing is that life isn't black and white, and there is always the chaos. There is always the unknown that's right around any single corner. We can think we have everything planned out, and then whoop, there it goes. And that's why we need to be willing to work with these energies and realize the whoop, there it goes energy is, again, working for us, pushing us to our greatest holiness, integration, and that to live a fully holy life, which we'll talk a little bit about, is to integrate both the logic and the chaos, the yin and the yang energies. And that's our focus, integrating the yin with the practical. Because most of us have practice with the practical. Most of us are really good at defaulting to the logical energy. So this is really an important time to be like, how do I allow the stillness? Virgo, likes to have the doing. You know, these are my things that I'm going to do. But what happens when when we're forced, even at times, like I was last week, to be still? Be still and know. Be still and allow. That energy is important. That energy is important in healing. You know, that's one of the things when it comes to healing. Another topic of Virgo, which we'll dig into a little bit more. Healing often comes, one of the best healing modalities is rest. And so there's a reason for this. It allows reset. But how many of us, again, scoff at that when we need to be in that energy? So this is the time to figure out in your life, and we'll explore this in and through these energies. I'm sure more is going to come to me as we go around this. But this is the time to explore this within yourself. How can I implement my yin in a practical world? I do not believe that we are at our whole selves when we are not integrating our full capacity for yin and yang. And let's be fair, that's a process to get there. And I don't know that too many of us are balanced in and through that. And it doesn't mean you have to be 50-50 yin and yang. You don't have to be there. You have to be in your unique coding of the yin and yang energy. Some of us are meant to take more action. Some of us are meant to sit back and allow a little bit more. We each have our own push and pull and in through these energies. But in order to get into that wholeness, that state of wholeness, the state of holiness, the state of healing, we have to find our own center, our own balance, our own still point within where we're ready to move or ready to continue being still. So, Sun in Virgo. The other thing I want to investigate in and through this is Chiron, the Chiron energy in and through this. So Chiron is another, according to some people, ruler of the Virgo energy. And Virgo really, I do believe, has the capacity to tune into the energy of healing. Some of the best healers I know have really strong Chiron or Virgo energy in their charts. And one of the things is because of the logic. Because of the way Virgo can see, oh, this is where things belong, this is where things don't belong. That's one level of the healing. But then it rises where Virgo can see the wholeness, the holiness, the perfection, everything in the working order, and hold that impeccable space for it. And through that, beautiful healing is attained. So we're all working towards that because we're all healers to some extent or another. So we're all working towards that within ourselves. But your work right now is, how can I work with the yin in a practical world? Allow that to be your healing. I asked Joe before I did this horoscope, I was like, do you think that people can be aligned with their soul if they're not working with the yin and yang energies? And again, we always are to some extent, even if the yin is only at 1%. But this is such an important thing, to be able to integrate both of these in order to fully connect to the soul. Because the soul, I think, I don't know if the soul has a gender, but I think in order for us on this planet, at the very least, to fully activate and be in that receptive/active state to hear the soul, be aligned with the soul, in tune with the soul, and then take that action, we do have to have a nice little balance of that energy. So this is our time to come into this wholeness, this holiness, this healing state of connecting to that soul level and allowing the yin to come through. Now, the last thing I want to mention about this yin stuff is this is really the time to embrace it. I do believe the Chaos Queen is on the rise, which, by the way, I was like, well, I have to look up chaos. What is the true meaning of chaos? The true meaning of chaos is chasm or void. The feminine. There it is, the void, the space of the unknown, which again is always lurking there. I think so many of us have built up safety that we feel like it's safe, and this isn't meant to be a scary message. It's not scary. But because the world is pushing us to grow and evolve, that these safety nets are more and more going to be pulled out from underneath us, and we are going to have to look into the unknown and create from that place. So this is the time to embrace that yin energy within yourself and find that power in order to move forward. Embracing your yin at this time is one of the most practical things you can be doing with your life. Embracing the power of the unknown, the healing power, the healing potential of the unknown is one of the most powerful things that you can be doing. So we will explore this. Just to mention, I will be doing on my Patreon account, go through sign by sign and help every sign, sun sign, rising sign, implement yin lessons through the next month. So that'll be really cool. All right, so let's dig into the other stuff that's going on. Moon is finishing up in Capricorn. That Capricorn energy, it also brings a very strong essence of like, let's get these things done. One of my favorite things, I don't know if she's watching, I had a friend, Ingrid, who was once talking about the archetypes of the signs. And for Capricorn, well, it has a very grandfather archetype. She liked to see it as a tribe of grandmothers. And that might be what Capricorn energy, in and through Saturn and Pluto going through, is evolving into. The wisdom of the tribe of grandmother elders who know the mystery of childbirth, who know the mysteries of the feminine, and who can also bring their practical experience to the forefront. Maybe that's what we need to bring at this time, our own inner tribe of grandmothers. That's very interesting. All right, anyways, Moon finishing up in Capricorn is meeting up with Mars. Mars is finishing up its retrograde. So this really is a time. Go within. Tune into your tribe of grandmothers. Actually, tune into your ancestral grandmothers. That's one of the things I've been looking at in the yin readings is Vesta. And what I'm finding is that Vesta has a great energy that tunes us into our yin legacy, the legacy that's come before, whether in our own previous lives or even in our family line. We all have grandmothers who go way back that have this connection that maybe can offer us the wisdom, the logic, the experience, and that intuition. The intuition and also pieces of the mystery to help us keep moving forward. So while Mars is retrograde, tune into the grandmothers to help you continue moving forward and honor their messages. They do know. I'm thinking of Grandmother Willow right now. Listen to your heart. You will understand. All right, but here comes the thing. Moon is going to shift into Aquarius. If logic is key, then, or king, I have king written there, but it looks like key. If that's interesting too. If logic is king, chaos is our queen. Moon into Aquarius with the sun in Virgo. I feel like we may be grasping for a few things. We might be grasping for a little solidarity after all this, and we might grasp onto logic as the solidarity. It's there. The mental process is going to be there. Can't stop that. But do not let it take you on a ride. You do not have to believe everything that you think. Just realize that your nervous system definitely may get a little peaked through this. Your mental patterns may get a little bit peaked. You don't have to go there. Moon in Aquarius, one of the best things you can do when there's any Aquarius energy is tune into the vibrational nature of things. Tune into the vibrations in order to keep moving yourself forward. Tuning into the vibration is a very feeling thing. That is a very yin essence. So in essence, that's one way to bring the yin into the practical world. Oi, the moon is also going to meet up with Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus. This is a square. You might get a little bit of shake up, a little shoop. That's good. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being there. And let whatever needs to go, and know the worth of yourself. It's like the universe pushing you to this next level. So if anything comes up and needs to go bye-bye at that time, that's a good thing. Let it go. All right. You are ready for the yin adventure, the adventure of a lifetime. First, you are going to have to stop clinging to the ideas of right doing and wrongdoing. I always love that Rumi poem. Beyond the ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Stop clinging to the past. Stop clinging to what you know. Take your wisdom from it. Yes, there is wisdom to be learned from it, but every situation is a situation in and of itself. Be here now, in this moment. And these two cards seem to go together too. I have playfulness and the adventure card, and this is the little girl. This is a page. Do not leave your inner child behind. You know, sometimes we go from Leo, summer vacation, to school, and like seriousness and buckle down. Take your heart with you. I know of no greater service than bringing your heart wholeheartedly to the world. Virgo is of service. You don't have to be of service by doing. Sometimes you have to be of service by being and letting your wild, radical, bright, loving heart shine. All right, and finally, interesting, I'm using the Sacred Creators Oracle for Virgo time. Limitations inspire innovations. But I love, here we have the Merkaba. And the Merkaba does represent the coming together of the yin and the yang energies. And I love this. The card essence, possibility, a bridge between worlds, a bridge between yin and yang, bringing yin to a practical world. Innovative ways of thinking or speaking, higher consciousness. All right, so let's see what I want to read in here. I don't know, I didn't really look at this beforehand. Potential. Limitations bring forth your essence from deep within. The Merkaba spins and rotates and poses a loving request. Believe that you will overcome this challenge. You are an expression of self that is so creative and so powerfully visionary that you can innovate above and beyond your pesky limitations. Innovate/heal above your pesky limitations. You are not bound by this. You are not bound by anything. The sacred yin in you, the chaos in you, the void in you. How do you capture the void? I don't know, unless you're a black hole. Maybe the black hole has figured that out. But besides that, I do not know. Limitations feel restrictive and preventive when we are in the thick of them. Restrictions, i.e., what has been practical, what has been logical. I'm not saying throw that out. Don't throw out the practical and logical. We're just giving it a little leeway. When stumbling block makes you feel like there's something wrong with you, you may jump to the false conclusion that the limitation is permanent. It's not. Your situation is changing rapidly. And you will transcend this barrier to your success. The dive in and journal prompt is innovation is yours to play with. Think beyond your situation and force two ideas to play together for a moment. How do we bring yin to the practical world? I'd love to hear from you, since I've asked that question literally a zillion times, almost. How do we bring yin to the practical world? Brainstorm with the universe. All right, so that is it for today. Speaking of the yin, I am still offering my yin reading. I highly encourage it. I think it's very powerful and helpful, and I'm getting a lot of insight through everyone I'm doing. You can book other readings. Email me for now, mimiclark@gmail.com. You can check out GaiaBlooming.com for some options. And besides that, I will do my best to be here tomorrow. Namaste, and the better it gets, and there is enough love in the world for you.